Hello, guys. I am Brandon Carey, and today we will be hopefully finishing up the Vice desk in LA Noire. Hi, chat.
Isn't that the cop who solved the big case and got promoted?
No. Where were we in this case? Let's look at our clues. Oh, right. This is the the murder of one of Cole Phelps's old army buddies, who opened looks like either a bar or a restaurant, and got shot to shit because he was part of the morphine trade. We Before we ended off, we interviewed Elsa Lichtman, who is a singer at a club known as the Blue Room, who we've met earlier during the traffic desk as we were promoted to homicide. And we had an interview with her and her musicians, who were all African American people who are clearly not liked very much by our racist partner Roy Earl. That's this asshole to my side. And we are hot on the trail of whatever drug dealer is is part of the drug. I think we're actually about to interview Mickey Cohen, unless we just did that already.
You gonna see your married man again?
Let me see if he's here and if he's here. There's a talk command. No, I mean, you might have just finished up interviewing him before we left off. Mickey Cohen, by the way, is a famous drug dealer from this era, and he is an actual real life person. Right, because it's okay for in Roy Earl's parlance, it's okay if black people die from drug overdoses, but if prominent white people die, it's a problem.
All right, where to?
And because white people are dying now Roy Earl's taking this seriously. This is an actual thing in the story. I'm not making this shit up. So let's go to the Hollywood police station and go and see what our superiors have to say about what's happening in the case so far.
How well did you know the owner?
McGoldrick? Well enough. He was in my unit.
That's some cruel irony. You survive the war, then get blown to pieces back home.
It happens more than you'd think. Young guys trying to adjust to normal life, getting mixed up in the wrong crowds.
The kid had just bought a nightclub. I'd say he got mixed up in the right crowds.
Until someone filled him full of holes.
You don't come into that kind of money that quickly without pissing a few people off.
Yep, historically accurate racism is exactly how they'll bill it.
Get this morning's edition hot off the press.
Let's see if we have to talk to somebody. What actually is going on here? I don't understand what I'm doing. What is my objective right now? I must have picked the wrong time to, maybe there's someone in interview rooms I can talk to? No. Why am I here? Why is the game only letting me come here? Just something in the coroner's office? No.
I used to be indecisive. Now I'm not so sure. You want the 5-star?
Isn't he the cop who won a medal and is solving all the cases?
No, there's nothing from the morgue.
Two peanuts are walking down the
What am I supposed to do right now? What is my objective? This is the only location I'm able to go to. Everything else has been checked off my list. Does anyone want to tell me how I proceed from here, game? Do I have to actually, like, go and look this up on a wiki? What the hell? Is it downstairs in tech services?
Isn't that the cop who caught the guy that was pretending to be dead?
No. Okay, I'm gonna give me a second to actually. I am actually having to Google right now. The case's name is Manifest Destiny, to figure out what I am supposed to do. There's a police shooting involved. So maybe I have to actually drive around. I wonder.
Hey, can you give me a hand? I got a hard case I need to break.
Out of my way, Roy. This is weird.
And throw my head away.
Goddamn captain's making me resubmit the paperwork.
Extra, read all about it.
Alright, so I wonder if we just drive around for a bit and see what happens, or if I restart this case.
Thank God we're not in my car.
Let's see what this... Please don't be a random crime. Please don't be a random crime. Please don't be a random crime. Yeah, this is a random crime.
Detective Phelps. Look, Phelps, in a minute a bagman named Rampley's gonna walk in here and put a mint on some horse.
Is that Garrus from Mass Effect?
We don't care about Rampley so much as we want his boss. He's the one we're gonna put away for fixing the race.
You're hoping Rampley will lead us to him?
Bingo. Here's what you're gonna do. Get in there. Blend in.
Oh, fuck this. I'm not doing anything like this. What I am doing at this point looks like is restarting the case from scratch. I would appreciate it if your style elements... Oh no, this is... What is going on here? Yes, we will. Yeah, we will restart the case. Whew. Well, at least we won't have the. Hopefully, we won't have much
Shooting at the 111 Club.
work ahead of us, since we didn't do much
Hollywood Boulevard.
before we left the stream.
Two of the dead guys caught in the crossfire were carrying Army surplus morphine. Get over there before homicide tramples all over the place.
We already cleared that up.
Judge in Pasadena took the big sleep yesterday. He had a personal stash of 20 cigarettes. Appears we didn't get all of it.
I got a call back
I
to that
didn't want to
Universal
arrest the kid.
Chorus line.
So I gave him a dusting he wouldn't forget. God damn it.
Can't seem to put this morphine to sleep.
Oh, yo, yo.
A dead judge. It's not good. Everyone has their vices. Even you, Phelps.
So, well, at least I'll be able to show off what I had to re-explain just now.
You know the way. You can drive.
Come on, Roy, get in the fucking car.
Parker and Green are going toe-to-toe for the top job. There's a change in the wind.
About time.
This wind will be like a tornado, Phelps. Parker's got a puritanical streak. You never know we'll get swept up in a thing like that.
But yeah, as I said last time, keep in mind the fact that the new police chief is going to be a hard ass that cracks down on
Mikowski. Phelps, back again. We're here about the morphine. Over by the bandstand. You can see what's left of the owner, Eddie McGoldrick, 26, former Marine.
I know Eddie McGoldrick. He was a non-com in my old unit.
I'm sorry to hear that, Cole. Waitress said he recently came into some money and bought the club.
Who are the other Vics?
2 musicians, Biddleston and Bow. And get this, they used to be in a 4-piece, but the trombone
and now they're a no piece.
Don't tell me. Lamont and Tyree? We've met the rest of the band.
Now they're a no piece.
Do you mind if we take a look around?
Be my guest. You might want to work with the host.
Yeah, he definitely died young. 26 is definitely a very young age to die. Alright, and...
Well-maintained, custom case. Someone cared for this instrument. What's that click? Neat trick. The case must have cost more than the trumpet.
Yep, no.
Kept his stash close
The
at hand.
needle. And the blue room ticket.
We should follow up on the musician angle.
Find anything interesting?
And look at the bodies again. See if there's anything in his pocket specifically.
We have a new source, or is this coming from what's left in circulation?
All right, so here's some bears.
These look brand new. Never fired. They haven't been degreased yet. Could be
Hey,
future
mythical red
serial
fox.
Is this guy hunting for bear? Look at these things.
They're BARs. You get the odd guy who sneaks one of them home from the war. How did he get 3 of them?
We're investigating an Army surplus morphine case. Welcome to the stream.
Dozen packs to a carton. 100 cartons or more. Looks like a couple of months' supply.
So
Army surplus morphine, Army surplus weapons, Army surplus valors. Sound familiar?
We should get back to the station and check the details of what exactly was lifted from that ship.
oh, you know what? I might not be able to. Oh yeah, it might be too late. But yeah, I didn't realize there was an objectives tab right in the game. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I probably didn't have to restart. That's my bad.
When you're ready to have a civil conversation, we can try again.
We don't find you have. Police found you hand.
Too late now, though.
Find anything
rounds into him. Certainly sends a message.
Yeah, it's a shame that these two essentially died because they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think I have enough.
They didn't even try to crack the safe.
Yeah, there's still money in the safe. Maybe we have enough information, we can start the interviews. I believe that's all the clues. Yeah. Probably wasn't much in the safe at all, but the fact their money was there at all means
Ma'am,
that
I'm Detective Phelps.
they probably
Question
didn't
the
rob
best
the
one.
place.
Welcome to the 111 Club, Detective. Feels like I've had half the LAPD in here today already.
Any idea who did the shooting?
No idea. It was my day off. If I had been here, honey, I'd be full of holes just like the others.
You want to level with me, miss, before we start taking an interest in you.
This place has been on the slide for years. Eddie turns up, buys the club, then we start getting visits from tough guys. Next thing you know, we have the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Are you getting the picture?
I love that rhetorical trick where they don't actually say what they think happened, but they
Tell
give
us
you enough to
about
imply it.
Eddie didn't know a thing about running a nightclub. He came into some money and waltzed in and bought the place. The previous owner thought all his Christmases had come at once.
Where do you think he got the money?
My guess was that he was selling the sort of quality product that you don't need to advertise.
Thank you for your help, ma'am.
Eddie was in over his head, but he was a decent boss.
By my stream, you mean my personal audio or the game audio? Or overall?
Find anything interesting?
I can bump the game up a bit. Not the social club. No one cares about your social club, Rockstar. Just let me know if that makes it harder to hear me when I raise up the audio a notch, because this game is kind of hard to audio balance because there's not a whole lot of granularity in the settings.
Officer,
All these
please
cops.
tell me
It's
what's
gotta be
going on.
something big, right?
Now let's go back to the blue room.
You can drive.
Fine, where are we headed?
Okay, get in the car, Phelps. No. No, no, I'm not driving this shit. Are you out of your mind?
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
What is the secret soap that the most...
Whew. I would ever take advantage of the driving this game. This game's driving is bad.
Boy, let's make it some better days.
No, I was talking earlier about Elsa Lickman. This is also coincidentally the, Oh man, I want to do the tailing mission where I have to follow her to have sex in her room. I remember
We would
now.
like them to stay, Miss Lickman. We're making inquiries into the recent deaths of 4
Hey,
musicians.
Noves! How you doing?
Since when have the police cared about dead black men?
Good point. We don't.
Well, you don't because you're a racist piece of shit, but I do.
Surplus morphine showing up on the street. If you care about working in this town, you better give me something on Biddleston and Bow, or their knucklehead buddies Tyree and
I hope you're
Lamar.
doing. I hope your recovery's going well, Novra.
I've told you 1,000 times about speaking that German gibberish at me, Elsa.
Roy, how about you get a drink while I see to this?
That's good to hear.
Julio, sit down.
Now let's while our racist campaign's getting a drink, while we have a chat.
Ask your questions, head officer. We have work to do.
People are dying of overdoses. If you know anything about it, you need to tell me.
I can't help you.
A lot of cats are into the thing. There's nothing special about your boys.
Yay, racism is right. I don't believe that they are entirely...
You can do this the easy way with me, or I can call my partner back over. I can assure you he's a lot less sensitive.
You think your threats frighten me?
Black man don't supply nothing. You think there's a black man in this town holding on to 2 tons of morphine?
Right, I
He'll be
remember.
dead in a minute.
Because he talked about this during the
White
last
man
stream.
supplies, black man buys.
Where the idea of a minority having control over the drug trade actually is kind of absurd when you think about it for even 2 seconds because of the way power works in this country, especially in the 50s.
My partner mentioned a couple of names. You recognize them?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't believe you. You knew these men.
And how would you like to prove that, detective?
I can't prove it,
You don't ask, you never find out.
but I can play hardball.
The only way you're going to get rid of me is to give me an answer.
I knew Cornell. We worked together a few years ago. He loved the music, but the music didn't love him.
What does that mean?
It means that he just wasn't that good. He was a sad, lonely cat.
Boys, take 5 minutes, please. I need to have a private word with the officer.
With the officer.
Why do you ask people to risk talking about a subject that could have them jailed?
Drugs are against the law, Elsa.
You're so full of courage.
Yeah.
Never felt.
Cole Phelps is lawful neutral.
Do you think you'll win your war against narcotics?
It's not my war. It's against the law. My job is to prosecute the laws of this city.
Do you think you can stop people from needing drugs, detective?
I'm asking the questions here.
Then why do you come to me with your stupid questions? You know who controls the drugs in this city.
It's not enough to just survive, Elsa. You have to try and make the world a better place.
Possibly lawful stupid, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
But words are just words, Cole Phelps.
She's right. We need to pay a visit to the mixer.
Cohen? Do you know where to find him?
Lawful daft.
You'll find him holding court at the Macambo.
He can wait. There's something I need to be sure of. Give me till tomorrow morning.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do, partner.
But, Cole Phelps' weakness is that he has absolute faith in the system. And that causes him to do things that are honestly not that smart. And, Elsa makes a really good point. This is where the game starts getting actually interesting with what it's trying to say. In that Cole Phelps is acutely aware of who controls the drug trade. He's worked with Royal enough to know that Mickey Cohen is a real force in the city. And yet he's sitting here trying to prosecute some petty drug crime when he knows the real culprit behind a lot of the city's ills and vices is Mickey Cohen, because his superiors ask him to, because he's lawful, he's lawful neutral. It's illogical, but it also makes sense because when it comes to his character, and with a lot of like police officers even today, where you don't want to, even though doing the right thing would probably be better off for society, it would probably cost you your job, and so you don't want to be the one that shakes the boat. And Cole Phelps is that person. He's the one that wants beyond anything to be recognized, and so defying doing anything that would cost him his job is like anathema to him. And that is especially in this vice desk, the cause for like the driving force behind a lot of the plot elements. And we'll see that also as we move into Arson.
risk losing the trail.
And this, in contrast to what I've been saying, is a weird scene where Cole Phelps essentially has sex with a German woman he's met exactly twice and seen singing a number of times. But, oh, and does this by being a married man with a child. So this is him actively going to cheat on his wife. Right now. We're watching that happen. Right now. So here's this lawful neutral cop going to commit adultery. Which I believe, and I might be mistaken, was an actual crime in the time this game takes place. But I'd have to check that. There is a small chance of talking out of my ass right now. And here's a little scene showing that Roy Earl totally followed us and is probably aware of his partner's infidelity and indiscretion. And given that we have a new police chief who is a kind of a by-the-books crackdowny kind of guy, we'll see how this goes. What do you mean, why? Why did Roy Earl follow Cole? Or, why would Phelps cheat? Because the game says so?
We're looking for Mayor Cohen. I believe he has lunch here.
There's not going to be any trouble, is there?
Which table?
Number 3, if you'll follow me.
But, if I had to make an actual, like guess, it's because Cole Phelps is someone who deathly, despite everything about him, the one thing he'll seek more than anything else is validation. Cole Phelps needs to have somebody tell him how much of a special, nice person he is. And Elsa, is probably the first person who genuinely, stood her ground against him without, totally, flipping him off. Which makes him makes her probably unique compared. If I had to make an actual guess, and I'm just kind of spitballing here.
How's it hanging?
Fine, just fine, Roy. I see you brought Iga Beaver along. Hope he's not going to put the shakes on me again.
Cole Phelps, Mickey Cohen.
Good afternoon. He has manners. Aren't you a little green for this kid?
Meet Johnny Stompanato, Cole. He has the biggest schlong in Hollywood and the smallest gun. Or maybe that's the other way around. I can never quite remember.
You're a funny guy, Roy. Haven't I always said what a funny guy Roy is? And how much fun it would be to get together with him sometime.
Poor Johnny. He's the dark, sensitive type. He's a serviceman too, Cole. Johnny was at Okinawa.
You were in the crotch?
6th Marines.
The lieutenant who won the Silver Star up on Sugarloaf. I've heard of you.
Something like that.
All right, have we finished flirting? You got something to discuss, Roy, or are you going to stand around beating the meat while my lunch gets cold?
We have some questions.
Do I need my lawyer?
Your brother-in-law, Lenny Finkelstein, was selling stolen morphine. He had 1/3 of the shipment.
Old news, kid. I don't know anything about what Lenny was up to.
I don't believe that for a second.
So I'm supposed to believe that you don't know what happened to the rest of the shipment?
Lenny, God rest his soul, was a moron. He was family, though, and I haven't made a beef about that, so count yourself lucky, kid. The H is a filthy habit, and I don't condone it. The simple solution would be to have all the dope fiends put down.
So you don't know where he got the morphine?
Kid, ask a question you might get an answer to.
We believe there's a link between a group of Marines and the morphine stolen from the SS Coolidge. One of those Marines was shot to death in a club last night.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I, again, don't believe you.
So you haven't heard anything about what happened at the 111 Club?
What can I say, kid? I'm shocked that in the land of opportunity, Uncle Sam's finest feel the need to resort to crime. It's a dangerous business. I can attest to that. I'd recommend they get out of the life. Quickly.
A few Negroes saying goodbye on the sidewalk will never make the papers, Mickey. But we had a judge in Pasadena say adios the other day. Prominent white people popping their clogs makes everyone nervous.
You know dope has never been my thing, Roy.
As I said earlier.
It's always been for schmendricks, like Jack D. and Jimmy Utley. But I'll ask around and I'll get back to you. Hey, you boys want some lunch? How about a drink?
We'll take a rain check on that. Come on, Cole, we're leaving.
Roy Earl's all like...
We have to cut that dope. It looks bad with people dying.
We have to get the rest of it. There's no way of watering down the stuff in those little packages. We have to put the squeeze on those guys and get the rest of it.
They don't seem the type to frighten that easy.
We'll see.
What's going on?
That fucking rat Stoker has gone public about Brenda.
Who is Brenda?
Brenda is LA's most famous madam.
Everyone knows it?
Of course everyone knows. Brenda pays her way.
Are we cops or a collection agency?
Whores have been around since the Bible. Our job is to keep it off the street so Joe Citizen and his wife can stroll around unmolested.
Then we should change the law.
Are you out of your mind? Every politician in America is against prostitution, except when they're using them.
So where does Stoker come in?
He objects to the LAPD and the administration taking its cut.
Is everyone in on this?
Yeah, and that's the problem. From a little acorn does a large tree grow. He could bring the whole thing crashing down on us.
Aren't you supposed to be working the...
Sir, do you know which robbery detectives are working?
Right. All right. I'm back. Game is loading up in a second. I have streamed a lot of games on this Twitch channel. I have no idea why this game crashes so often. It appears to happen almost once a stream these days. I have to stress that I have played the PS3 version of this game several times without any issues. If you are interested in playing LA Noire, do not ever purchase the PC port of this game. It is terrible. But I believe this brings us to what we were doing at the start of the stream and figuring out what we're supposed to do, which apparently... Yeah. Now we go to the Hollywood police station.
Fine,
and
where are we headed?
The squad room to talk to the detective. This is ironic in that this is literally like there's a weird in medias res that occurred during the stream.
How well did you know the owner?
McGoldrick? Well enough. He was in my unit.
Oh my God, Roy, are you stupid?
You survive the war, then get blown to pieces back home.
It happens more than you'd think. Young guys trying to adjust to normal life.
AI driving. Jeez, I hope that's not taken into account. My final rating.
In the right crowds.
Until someone filled him full of holes.
You don't come into that kind of money that quickly without pissing a few people off.
But this is the part where the game starts making some interesting, like, social commentary about the nature of the LAPD, during this era. Let me into the building. Oh my God, game! What is your thing? What is your malfunction?
So you're the first in this family born without a tail.
You think those vice boys
In the squad room, so... Let's go to...
Harry, you got a minute?
Sure, Cole, anytime.
You've been working the docks robbery on the SS Coolidge?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, it's Garrus.
So how do you see it? Inside job. Either the guys working the wharves or some of the guys on the ship.
What else was taken apart from the morphine?
Case of BARs, case of Thompsons, crate of Valor smokes.
Homicide just recovered 3 BARs and a mountain of cigarettes at a shooting at the 111 Club.
No kidding. I better get over there.
Do you have a copy of the manifest?
Yeah. Here it is.
So, how do we connect the docks robbery to the mess at the 111 Club?
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk.
This is the crate we recovered. 500,000 cigarettes loose on the streets of L.A. Here's our backroom arsenal from the 111 Club.
Right.
Some of these guys are from my old unit. They must have finally shipped home. Kelso, Sheldon, McGoldrick.
McGoldrick was on the boat?
Sure, we checked him out.
McGoldrick bought the 111 Club, Harry. His brains are all over the bar.
Looks like whoever stole the dope is getting muscled.
By whom?
Dragner or Cohen. They control the hop.
Detectives, KGPL's going crazy. Shots fired at 1384 North Bronson. Some guy with an automatic spraying a Hollywood bus. They want every car. Go!
Mouthpiece store stripped off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
All right, so let's go.
Did you read about the Charlestad case in the paper?
We're making progress in the case again. But, as I was saying earlier,
You drive. I need to go
there is this thing in
All right, where to?
in LA Noire where the cops very openly talk about how they are being bribed by organized crime. Which goes towards what Elsa was saying earlier about how everyone knows who the actual drug lords are and how you could end the drug trade immediately by taking a Mickey Cohen or the big guys. But because they're buying off the LAPD, Cole Phelps, who is lawful neutral, refuses to or is unable to take action against them.
Find a way up there and stop that son of a bitch, Cole.
We're gonna go around.
Officer down at 1384 North Bronson. Ambulances en route. Repeating, all units. Officers still need help on Bronson. Approach with extreme caution.
There should be a ladder on the other side of this building.
You're clear, go.
There. So we're gonna do a sneaky sneak. Oh, why do I have to do it, Steve? Because I'm the main character. I am the protagonist of the story so far, and I must because everyone else in the LAPD is functionally useless.
Drop the gun now.
I love the way Cole Phelps yells when he gets shot. Oh! Ah! It's great. Now I got a dead body. And I love dead bodies. Look at his weapon first.
It's one of the BARs.
Nothing there, so now let's check the body.
Phone number and restaurant table.
Alright, so... I think that's all the body has on him.
I know that guy. Felix Alvaro.
He's one of the guys from the ship?
His name was on the manifest.
Looks like McGoldrick wasn't the only one to get a message.
Hey, Alvaro.
Hey, Lieutenant. He's just a plain detective now, Chico.
Who's the Jughead?
Jughead.
My partner, Roy Earl. We just want to find out what happened.
What happened is that someone took a shot at my bus. And then cops turned up and start treating me like I'm some sort of Pachuco punk. My people have been in California for over 300 years.
Very fucking admirable, Felix.
You hear anything about the big heist on the Coolidge?
Yeah, I heard about it.
So what happened?
Not much. The cops came and interviewed me and all the other guys on the ship.
I don't believe you, Felix. I've got gunmen blasting away at innocent citizens. This is getting out of hand. Is there something you want to tell me?
I don't appreciate you calling me a liar, detective. You want to prove that I was involved?
I want to use this as my proof, and I might be wrong.
I'll let it slide this time. For old time's sake.
I hate having to guess the game's logic.
Who's shooting at you, Felix?
How the fuck do I know?
Felix, we didn't go through Okinawa to come back to this on our streets.
I've got the LAPD to keep me safe, right? Me and all my people.
We'll be in touch, Felix.
The manifest proves what was stolen, doesn't prove who stole it.
He's been here a couple of months. Sure glad to see you got over your wound, Lieutenant. I mean, Detective.
Pretty cool customer.
He's been under fire before.
You buying his story?
Not for a minute.
Alright, who do I have to call in this game well?
Phelps, 1247.
Ghostbusters.
I need an address on a Jack Kelso.
Just a second. Jack Kelso, apartment 4, 1408 North El Centro Avenue, Hollywood.
And
thanks, man.
As a reminder, we know about Courtney Sheldon spearheading the morphine heist through the newspapers. We know that he's the one who got the morphine. He sold it, and Jack Kelso bailed him out. But Cole Phelps does not have all of those details yet.
You can drive.
Where are we going?
So this is one of those things where you do lose a lot of context if you didn't collect those newspapers earlier in the game, because this is actually directly relevant to this current case.
He would never get involved in something like this.
We brace him and drag him downtown.
Won't work. He's a tough customer.
So Roy Earl says this Jack Kelso guy's involved. We'll bag him and throw him into the slammer to interview him. And Cole Phelps, knowing who Jack is based on his time in the Marines, will go, yeah, dude, that's not gonna happen. You can try it, and I'll help you try it, but it's not gonna happen.
Hello, Jack. This is Detective Roy Earl.
Hello, Cole.
We would like a word.
Would you like to come inside?
Actually, we'd prefer if you'd come downtown with us. Do you mind?
Do I have any choice?
No. You don't.
Are you going to tell me what this is all about?
It would be better for all of us if we discussed it at the station.
Bad move, Cole.
So, how have you been, Jack?
Cut the crap. You pick me up in front of my apartment like a common criminal and then expect small talk? Fuck you.
Justified anger. Justified anger from Jack Kelso right there. Fuck you, Cole. Yeah, you don't bag someone like that and then expect to have a little chat. Fuck you, Cole. That's stupid. Socially deficient is actually probably a good word for it.
Do you know that there's a gang war going on in LA trying to recover that stolen morphine?
That has nothing to do with me.
Now, we as the audience know that's technically not true, because even though Jack wasn't part of the original theft, he was brought in later on to help Courtney Sheldon deal with the fallout.
Jack, you know about the morphine? You weren't involved, but you know who is.
You can't prove what I know and what I don't know, Cole. This is going nowhere.
He's right. I also can't prove that.
You're off the hook. For now.
I'm sure it would be gripping to hear more of your life story, boys, but the truth is, I don't give a fuck. You were on the boat, Kelso. What happened?
Do you really think a bunch of Marines could muscle in on the dope rackets in this town? Between the Vice Squad and the mob, I hear it's pretty sewn up.
You'd better watch your mouth.
I actually like Jack a lot as a character, and you'll also see why later on in the game.
Did you know that Eddie McGoldrick recently came into money and bought a nightclub?
No, I didn't know that.
Quit lying to me, Jack. You know what's going on. You've been in this with Eddie from the start.
I'd want to have something solid to back up what I was saying if I was you.
Sorry. My mistake.
Okay, that...
You want to take a guess where he got hold of the cash?
Not really.
You heard that a crate of BARs went missing?
No, I didn't.
I probably should have chosen truth on the fact he didn't know that Eddie McCulrich got killed. You probably didn't know that, actually.
You're not a good liar, Jack. I know you want to help your guys, but this has gone too far.
If you believe I had anything to do with the theft of the BARs, or the morphine for that matter, I suggest you produce some evidence.
And again, if you read the newspapers, you know for a fact he was not involved in the actual original heist.
Sometimes you have to shake the tree to see what falls
Because in those scenes, it says outright that he was not involved. But he is aware of who did it.
You wouldn't know why Eddie McGoldrick had 3 of them.
The goddamn fool.
What do you know about the Army surplus robbery from the Coolidge, Jack?
What I know is that on 3 separate occasions, you would have been dead if it weren't for me. I don't know anything about the robbery.
People are dying because morphine intended to help servicemen is being used on the street. Now we have guys from our old unit being killed by mobsters. We can put 2 and 2 together, Jack.
Gratitude isn't a concept that has much effect on you, is it, Cole?
Answer the question, Jack. Let's get this over with.
I was interviewed when the robbery took place. I don't have anything further to add.
Jack, we just want information.
Bullshit, Cole. Did you seriously believe that dragging me down here would get me to give up my own guys? You call yourself a Marine? Trying to make a name for yourself with this shitheel? Look at this chump with his $200 suit and $2,000 car.
The tough guy act is really impressive. I like you, Jack. I'd like to make you for this. I really would. I'm going to be working on it and keeping an eye on you. You can go now.
Shooting, Robert Steiner, 6780 West Sunset Boulevard. The victim is a Chris Majowski.
Another name from the manifest?
Yep. Now I gotta go to another shooting.
How many more friends of yours are gonna get plugged today?
Talk about tension. That was like being trapped in an elevator with a married couple who can't decide whether they love each other or hate each other.
We go back a long way.
You went too easy on him. Next time, you leave it to me. I know how to handle that smug son of a bitch.
You don't. Jack will never give up his own men.
Cole is right. The idea that Roy Earl knows how to handle Jack Kelso is laughable. It's absurd. He doesn't.
He just walked up and shot the man. 2 of them officers, they went that way.
Go on, get after him.
I mean, why do you need that spoken to you, Cole? You can see them jumping into the car. And let's do another chase. Spin him off the tar.
I can't hit a target that isn't there, Phelps. Get in close and steer him off the tar.
There we go. I was looking for that line. Steer him off the tar.
I'll
I'll try for the tires. Keep your foot down.
Going too fast.
Hit him, Cole. Spin him out.
Holy shit, dude.
Guys aren't gonna go quiet. Open fire! I can't believe this is happening. God damn!
They're dead. Now, on the subject of newspapers, I believe there is one in this alleyway. Yeah. LAPD Vice can go all the way to the top.
We have to look at damage limitation. We can't allow that strumpet Brenda Allen to bring down the whole administration.
We've got to put a lid on the press. Can't someone talk to Harry over at the Times?
It's too late. The Times would look ridiculous if we dropped the story now.
Who is this Stoker?
Stoker's a lily-white. Nothing that will fix this in the short term.
My law and order credentials are disappearing as we speak. Can we get Brenda to leave town?
Yes, we can, but she won't go quietly. Brenda has extensive records.
Can she at least lay low?
That's already been taken care of.
Mayor? District Attorney?
Who is this guy? And what does he want, Horrell?
Name's Roy Earl, detective, administrative vice.
Aren't you one of the clowns that got us into this mess?
Oh, I think that the orders regarding Brenda come down, not up, Mayor. I have a human interest story. It involves a certain LAPD cop, a hero from the war, who has let his beautiful wife and kids down, who has betrayed America for a German junkie whore, who has abandoned his pledge to the LAPD and his commitment to the public we all serve. Could be all over the papers by tomorrow, and you would be off the hook.
So what do you want in return, Roy? Fingering a fellow officer.
That's a pretty explicit scene where Roy Earl just blatantly sells out Cole Phelps for his indiscretions. I don't need to explain what happened there. You can kind of tell. And that will come into play at the end of this case, if memory serves. No, I'm looking what what's in your pockets. Show me your pocket.
Cohen is meeting with Sheldon tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, the way he straddles the bodies is definitely interesting. At the very least.
An LAPD file. We have a traitor in our midst. All of the names on the list have a hit team assigned to them.
So yeah, this is essentially Mickey Cohen is trying to kill off all of the army men involved in the heist to get control of the morphine.
We need to get to those guys fast, otherwise there'll be no case.
So we need to essentially try to stop these hits in progress. I'm sure you'd like that.
Do we know where we're going?
Sure you'd like that, Steve.
They're taking out all the guys from the ship.
Why? How does that get them the dope?
They obviously don't know who has the morphine, and they're waiting for someone to crack.
Exactly. This case is mostly just preventing assassinations from occurring. Or not.
Getting close and steer him off the tar.
Yeah, oh my god! That guy just ran right in front of my fucking car! Holy shit! Whew! It's a dangerous place to have a car chase.
It's no good. We need to get closer.
Gotta steer him off the tar.
Let's see how fast he runs on bare rims.
LAPD, put your hands in the air.
Yeah, I love that the car was still moving even though it was... Yeah, oh my god. Cole Phelps, LAPD, probably killed 2 people today. Roy Earl lost his hat! Fuck you, Roy Earl! Oh, you got it back. Fuck you, Roy Earl. Not much to investigate. That was just another hit.
I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
That's that cop. Seemed like a decent guy.
Although it's actually not bad that this is the way this goes because of the way you get promoted to Arson. And we'll talk about that in a second. Look at the dead cops.
Hope we have no trouble.
We're giving ground. Move up. We gotta tag the rest of them.
It is amazing how inaccurate the rest of the cops are compared to LAPD's golden boy, Cole Phelps. The aiming in this game could actually be a lot worse. It's actually not terrible.
Tell Courtney. Bad luck. It was worth a try.
He's dead. God. Tell Courtney, bad luck, it was worth a try.
Polar Bear Ice Company. You really did it. Wonder whether it was worth it.
Most people never get the chance to be rich. Wouldn't you risk it?
Alright, let's see if there's anything in your pockets. But yeah, that's actually... It's interesting that they just let you, see a body as it's dying. And not just when it's already dead. That's actually a pretty unique for this game. It does kind of add a little bit of weight to the proceedings.
His prince, and he still confessed.
don't think there's anything else to investigate here.
You know the way. You can drive.
I guess there is something
Where
here
are we
to
going?
investigate here still. The way to bring people in the crosswalk. Yeah. Yeah. Whoops. I guess we should investigate this body too. What do you have in your pockets, Jim?
Looks like Sheldon is bringing his own fire team with him.
I believe this guy was this guy. This might actually be one of the gunmen. This guy I'm looking at right now. He might not have.
Beckett, Goldrick, Driscoll. These are good guys. Why did they get wrapped up in this thing?
Not everyone has your unwavering restraint in the face of temptation, Cole.
Although, Roy Earl saying that, knowing that he caught Phelps in the middle of infidelity,
You're behind the wheel.
that is a little creepy.
Right, where to?
That's a little creepy in hindsight. So now we're gonna go try to save Courtney Sheldon.
This isn't looking good.
Yeah.
I feel like the fat kid at the back of a race.
You sure it's Cohen making the hits?
All fingers point his way. Your buddies are in way over their heads.
Exactly, like
Being a
he's
Marine
taunting
doesn't
Cole
mean
about what he's
shit
about to
out
do, but he doesn't. But Cole is unaware because he doesn't know that Roy Earls tailed him while he was tailing Elsa.
There, light them up.
All right, let's kill these rat bastards.
Keep moving, I'll cover you. On the roof, Cole, nail him.
Where's my hat? What's the pickup hat button? I can't go on without my hat. I guess I can. Never mind.
They're making a run for it after them.
Stay in cover.
Oh, that looks painful. And this one make it in time.
I'm gonna put out an APB on every one of the sons of bitches on that.
GPL to car 11K. Car 11 King, come in.
Car 11 King.
11K, go to Hollywood Station. Hey, Courtney Sheldon is at Hollywood Station requesting an interview with Detective Cole Phelps.
Well, I'll be damned.
That's not correct protocol, 11K. I'll take that as a roger.
Car 11 King en route.
You can drive.
So let's head to Hollywood Police Station and talk to Courtney Sheldon, which I believe will be the end of this case. And the stolen morphine plotline.
Roy, in my office, if you please.
I'm working a major case. I'm not close, Cap. It's gonna have to wait.
Let Phelps do the interrogation.
But, Cap.
No buts. This is more important.
I love Cole Phelps' smug face, even though the reason he's being called in is to talk about or Cole Phelps' infidelity.
Sheldon, is this your attorney?
No, detective. This is Dr. Harlan Fontaine. He came down here to help me out.
How do you do, sir?
You stole the morphine from the Coolidge.
You can't prove that.
Let's see if I can try. And what is your relationship to Sheldon, sir?
Tutor, mentor. Mr. Sheldon is a medical student of mine. He has a very bright future.
You'll remember him from the newspapers.
Too bad all of your war buddies won't get to see your graduation. You were on the ship, Sheldon.
Yes, that's correct.
So you had opportunity.
But it doesn't mean that I was involved.
So you don't mind that the mob executed McGoldrick, Driscoll, and Beckett to get to you?
I don't know why you're trying to pin this on me. Where's your proof?
Well, we do have the confession.
Beckett had a message for you before he died. Bad luck. It was worth a try.
I feel bad about Beckett, Phelps. He was a hard charger. Those guys deserve more. I don't blame them for taking their shot.
I would have asked Beckett or Majewski or Driscoll about their involvement, but that's difficult, considering they're all dead. That leaves you, Sheldon.
You can't blame their deaths on me, Phelps.
Courtney Sheldon is a world-class fuck-up.
You're lying, Courtney. The other guys aren't smart enough to attempt something like this. You either give it up, or I go after Jack for it.
And how do you prove that, Cole?
I wonder if this is proof.
We know about your showdown with Cohen. We found notes on your guys.
Cohen is hitting our old unit. He believes we have the morphine. I told him that we don't have it. And that's the truth. Isn't it, Doc?
I believe Mr. Sheldon. I think he's telling the truth, Detective. Have you finished, Detective?
I'm just getting started. You have an answer for everything, Courtney. Let's hope Jack does, because now I'm going after him. Is there anyone you're not prepared to sacrifice?
Jack is not in this. He's a good guy.
You or Jack, Courtney. I don't care who goes to jail. I just want the morphine off the street.
What are you offering, Cole?
Don't be ridiculous, son.
Good night, Novra.
This man is gambling.
What's your offer?
Doctor, good to see you.
I'm conducting an investigation.
Upstairs in my office, now.
This man is about to confess.
As of now, you're suspended from duty, pending a fitness review.
What are you talking about?
You heard the man, Phelps. Upstairs and face the music like the hero you were.
Yep, and this is how the Vice desk comes to an end.
You certainly had us fooled, Detective. Phelps, you're one of my favorite sons. You've broken this old man's heart.
Sir, what is going on here?
You're suspended, Phelps. Hand over your badge and gun.
Don't keep him waiting.
What is going on here?
Your wife's attorney has pictures of you and the German. Compromising pictures, lad.
She's pressing charges. You'll be formally charged with adultery. A criminal cannot serve as an LAPD officer, as I'm sure you're aware.
I don't understand.
How could you do it, lad? Your wife, your children, consorting with the enemy and a dope fiend at that. You're lucky the war is over. You'd be taken out and shot. The department doesn't need this kind of publicity, Phelps. Hand over the gun, keep your head down until your board hearing. I forbid you to make any comments to the press. What the hell were you thinking?
Now, at the time, I thought he was being set up. I thought that Roy Earl had found some way to falsely accuse Cole Phelps, and I made my first playthrough of this game. But it turns out, no, this is actually, like, this is a genuine... He genuinely did all this.
Marie, listen, Marie, I need to explain.
Please leave. You're upsetting the girls.
Let me see them, Marie. They're my daughters.
Go to her, Cole. You have done enough damage here. Do you want me to call the police?
For God's sake, Marie. Can't we at least talk?
What is there to talk about? Do you love her? Do you? What were you thinking? What about our children? Can you imagine what this has been like for them? Go away, Cole. My father has hired an attorney and you will be hearing from him.
I'd like to explain, Marie. I'd like to tell you what I've been going through.
What you've been going through. I have had reporters camped out on the front lawn all morning. I can't stand it, Cole.
LAPD's golden boy. And this is the story of the fall of Cole Phelps. I'm still not sure why Cole Phelps ultimately ended up sleeping with Elsa. But it is a weird move, and the fact it's such an odd move that when I played this game at first, I didn't realize that was the actual thing that happened. But it totally is. This is not an unfounded accusation that Roy Earl concocted. This is a genuine thing that he did. And as you can see, unlike before, we are now demoted to the final desk of the game, the Arson desk. That is a demotion, but it is, for the sake of the story, the final the final desk that we had to go through. Dummy Cole is right.
Okay, everyone, keep it down. Cole Phelps joins the arson squad today. How'd you like pork in that German whore, Phelps? Phelps is up before a review board in December. Until then, he works the arson desk. End of story. Phelps.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what you did or didn't do, Phelps. I hear you're a good case man. But if you fuck up on my detail, I'll have you out of here before your feet touch the ground. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, sir.
Cap, we don't want a fucking rat like Phelps. Can it, Tilden? Phelps, I'm partnering you with Herschel Biggs.
I don't do partners. You know that, Cap.
You do now, Biggs. Social basket cases like you two should get along just fine. Biggs will show you the ropes, Phelps.
This is arson. There are no ropes.
It shouldn't take long, then. Start with these two. House fires. 326 South Kenmore Avenue. Steffen's family was out of town when it happened. Then go to 4414 Rosewood, family by the name of Sawyer. Fire brigade will be on location.
Are they suspicious, Captain?
That's for you to find out, Detective. Now get out of here. Both of you. Get out!
And so this is where we are.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him with one round.
Cole Phelps is now the laughingstock of the LAPD as a sacrifice in order to dodge the real scandal, because that's what the LAPD does. It puts lambs in the pyre to save itself.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
And the other thing about this scene that you notice is that there's this the sheer silence. Like they're not talking. Cole Phelps and Herschel Biggs not talking at all, and that's very deliberate because...
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
He does deserve it, I'm not gonna lie, but the fact is that this is purely to...
How long have you been working arson?
We gonna do the small talk thing now? Talk baseball, exchange addresses? I don't think so. Feeling down, hotshot? Need a buddy? We'll look somewhere else.
But the fact is, like, he was thrown on the pyre just so that the higher ups who were actually the real, like, true crime of of LA can save their skins. He does deserve it, but he doesn't deserve it as much as other people in that position do.
There never is if the job's done properly.
You think it was deliberate?
Nah, that's real pain in her face. They would have moved out the things they care about if this was insurance. There's no mileage in this. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Hirsch. Cap this one.
Yeah, Mike Brannigan, Cole Phelps. It's okay, Brannigan. His name may be dog shit, but there's none in his hand.
No offense, Phelps.
None taken. Do you have anything?
The fire started late last night. Steffen's family at Catalina Island. Won some kind of competition. Looks like the only thing they ever won in their lives. And they come home to this.
I'd say they were pretty lucky, really.
They don't have any insurance. Everything they own, including the house, is now that pile of rubble.
Where are they sleeping?
In the car. It's lucky the whole block didn't burn down. Word is they're bulldozing this whole neighborhood to build new homes for GIs. That's the man in the house. In the ruins.
Bulldozing old homes to build new ones because that's a smart decision.
Come on, Phelps.
Also, if you haven't noticed yet, Herschel Biggs is the guy who was monologuing at the beginning of the patrol desks. If you go back to those old videos, and you'll listen to the guy monologuing during the patrol cases, that's him. He was the one who was like, "Hey, Cole, this was your big shot, wasn't it? This is your big break. You one that made you a hero."
Mr. Steffens? Cole Phelps and Herschel Biggs, LAPD. I know it's a difficult time, but could we have a word?
Don Steffens.
You were out of town.
We won a prize. We had a wonderful time. Came home to this.
Do you still have the tickets?
Sure.
It's a formality, but we'll need to speak to the issuing agent. Can you tell me any more about the prize that you won, Mr. Steffens?
Weekend at Catalina Island. My wife got this flyer in the mail from the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Did you enter any kind of competition?
My wife filled in a flyer. This lady just rung up and told us we won. It's the first time I ever won anything.
I feel so bad for this guy.
The redevelopment fund. Did they offer to buy you out?
They're building new houses. They showed their money and most of the neighborhood just packed up and walked away. But I never bargained with them.
I'm not gonna be a bad cop just because he's already kind of fucked up.
GI houses?
Yeah, something like that.
That's all we need for the moment, Mr. Steffens.
I know technically the doubt was the answer. I just didn't want to actually do that to him at this moment.
Son of a bitch looks a lot like the cop that pointed a gun at me.
Remember the dead lady they found under the train? He solved the case. Booked some barfly for the murder.
Recently serviced. Could be something to go on.
Yeah, Cole Phelps does not have any social graces whatsoever. That is also a big problem.
I don't think so.
What's with him?
You've seen the papers. I guess he's thinking about his own family. I'd say he's searching for some kind of atonement right now.
Isn't that the cop who caught the guy that was pretending to be dead?
Now let's go to the game well and see what we can call in. Because the there will actually be some interesting stuff in the plot for the arson desk.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need information on the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Yes, Detective. Just checking. The fund is a semi-government agency established to speed up the building of GI homes. It has private investors as well as a government endowment.
Huh. Do you have an address for them?
There is one listed here, corner of Beverly and Mariposa.
Thank you.
But when you think about it, even on like a surface level, the idea of destroying these homes just to build new ones in their place is such a crazy concept. Just use the homes already there. Just use them. You don't need to. You don't need to build new ones. Just
Can you drive to this
sell the property.
So where do you want to go?
It's such a waste of resources.
Have there been any other house fires?
This is arson. We get an average of 2 a night. Does that answer your question?
There's nothing wrong with the homes in these neighborhoods, Steve, but the true reason why this is going on the way it is it will be explained later in the story of the arson desk and the grand finale of the game.
Hi, Albert. We've got this case.
Hey, Biggs. You have a partner? What gives?
This is Cole Phelps. You may have read about him.
Oh, now I get it. Hello, Phelps. Welcome to the netherworld of arson. Family of 4 found dead in their beds. Heater exploded.
Another
Herschel is actually one of the better partners in the game.
It's the Heat Model 70. Before you get excited, we get a couple of water heaters a month go back. Take a look around the yard and see what you can find.
Yeah, the implication here is that Herschel Biggs is also on the down and outs, but with the people in charge.
Mal. You gonna stick it out, Cole? I'm gonna try, Mal. What have you got?
Family by the name of Sawyer. Mother, father, and 2 kids. All in bed from the looks of it. Oh, I'd say carbon monoxide poisoning. The burns are superficial.
Time of death?
I'd say about midnight. Anything more exact will take some time to determine. Lynch tells me this has something to do with a faulty water heater?
Could be. There's been a spate of problems with a particular brand. I've got another angle in mind.
You care to elucidate, Detective? This is a murder and not an accident. Sharing information has helped us solve quite a few cases together.
I need something concrete, Mal, before the department gets wind of it. I'm in arson for a reason.
I feel sorry for your wife and kids, Phelps, not for you. But you're a good case man. One of the best I've ever met. I'll help in any way I can.
Thanks, Mal. I'd say that's firm but fair.
I love that, like, even Mal, like, I'll help you, but I just need to make sure you're aware. I think you're a piece of shit for what you did. And he's right. Like, he's totally right. But, you'll see that, Herschel Biggs is also, like, not popular with the LAPD because he's kind of a loner. And this is essentially, Cole Phelps is being punished by going on arson, and Biggs is being punished, by having him as a partner because neither one of them are particularly liked by the higher-ups. Cole, for his infidelity, and Biggs just for being a bit of, like, an antisocial asshole on the job. Even though, like, when you talk to him, He's actually not that bad of a guy. He's probably one of the best partners in the game. Like, I think I like Burkowski a little bit more, but Biggs is definitely, like, up there. Although it kind of helps that the other two, Galloway and Earl, are just straight up assholes. And, like, not remotely redeemable. Yeah, the clock was nowhere near midnight. I'm not even sure what I'm looking for, per se. They're all dead.
The insurance companies write these incidents up as acts of God. Hey, Biggs! Is this significant?
Regulator valve. Good find.
Detectives? This is the next door neighbor, Detective Phelps. Can you help?
They were supposed to be going away. They won a trip somewhere. But little Henry got sick, so they had to cancel. What are the chances?
Do you know who ran the competition?
Gulliver's Travel, up on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
So we had
Phelps, the guy across the street. I've seen him before. He likes fire.
Hurry, you can still catch him.
So, we have right now 2 arsons that were committed.
We've got an ID on the firebug. Stop right there.
Right as the owners of the house in question was supposed to go away on a competition. Nice camera angle on that game.
What's your name?
Herbert Chapman.
So you like fires?
Some.
Watching them or setting them?
I don't want any trouble.
Turn out your pockets.
You're a naughty boy, aren't you, Herbert?
I keep myself to myself.
Cigarette in a matchbox gives you a 5 or 6 minute delay. You want more time, you use a mosquito coil. Don't you, Herbert?
You like this fire, Herbert?
Hell no. I heard it over the fire radio. Sounded sweet.
When you finish following your leads, come and see me at the fire station. I have a theory about this.
Will do, Lynch. Take this guy in. We might want him for questioning later.
You got it, Detective.
Why have you got such a hard-on for this case? If it is murder, it's almost impossible to prove. Fire doesn't leave much evidence. There's no percentage in this.
I think it's more than one case.
They're house fires, Cole. Accidents, heater fires, gas explosions.
There's got to be a reason.
The reason is you want to be a star again. Forget it. Give it up. You'll feel better.
There's something to this. I know it.
What are you talking about? Arson is insurance. It's always been insurance.
We still investigate the cases, Biggs. The people in this house are dead.
Go soak your head, Phelps. This hero business is a full-time obsession with you.
I'm gonna make this case. I'm gonna rub the department's nose in it. Help me or stay out of my way. You got it?
That's great. I'm not driving this car.
Excuse me, officer.
You're behind the wheel.
I want to see.
And where exactly are we going?
So I like this dynamic because it's different than the others. It's still kind of like Cole Phelps going, there's something to this, and the partner going, no, that's absurd. But for a much more justified reason than there usually is for this dynamic. Whereas with Rusty, it was, I'm too lazy to do any investigative work. For Biggs, it's, you are trying very clearly to get back in the department's good graces because you are the golden boy. I get that.
Detectives,
but
Biggs,
let's be real here. It's what you're talking about seems completely crazy.
The Sawyer family recently won a competition run by your company.
Yes, I remember them. They called up to cancel at the last minute. One of the kids was sick. Very unfortunate.
Do you mind if I take a look at that? The Sawyer family, Rosewood Avenue. Tell us about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
There's not much to tell. They run a promotion. Our promotion's mailing list covers half of LA.
How much business do you do with Suburban? You get some kind of kickback from these guys.
Oh, so now you're accusing me of taking kickbacks from realty developers. You have some way of proving this, detective?
No, I don't have proof. Oh no, I hit
Talk about the pot
the wrong button.
calling the kettle black. Cops accusing small business people of graft. I think we're done here.
That
I'm
sucks.
told the tickets were a prize.
Yes, they were.
You do a lot of these prizes.
Well, look, there are hundreds of these promotions running at any one time. If you're the lucky guy, you get your name pulled out of a hat.
I don't believe you.
While the Sawyer family were supposed to be at Catalina Island, their house burnt down. You consider them lucky?
Christ. I'm sorry to hear that.
Can you tell me who offered the prize won by the Sawyer family?
Sure. Look, there's supposed to be some sort of supervised draw with hundreds of tickets. But the reality is the Suburban Redevelopment Fund calls me every couple of weeks and tells me exactly who has won.
Thanks for your help.
No problem. Just wish I could do something for that family.
You could put round the hat. A few bucks would really help them now.
I suppose so.
Good. I'll put you down for 50. I could tell you were Samaritan the minute I walked in the door.
50? Are you?
Good man, Cunningham. You're all right.
Yeah, I'm great. Poorer, but great.
I love that scene. Biggs is a good guy. Biggs is good people.
You know the way. You can drive.
All right. Where to? Let me guess. You want to check out the Suburban address?
Great partners must think alike, Herschel.
Oh, that we got new information that the Suburban Relevant Fund is just outright telling people who wins those contests, which is relevant. That's interesting.
This is supposed to be the registered offices of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
This is an Elysian housing development, Mac.
So Elysian is an investor in the redevelopment fund.
Looks that way.
Are we done here, Mac? I've got work to do.
Sure, buddy. Thanks for your help. Elysian are investors in the Suburban Redevelopment. So what? If you think I'm putting my pension on the line and harassing Leland Monroe without evidence, you're out of your mind.
All right, let's go to the fire station and see what the marshal has to say.
Lynch says we should visit him at Fire Station 32.
Who exactly is this guy, Lynch?
Lynch is a legend. You should feel privileged. He doesn't let many people into the inner sanctum. Keep your mouth shut, and you'll learn something about fires.
We came as soon as we could.
You watched the Hammond Galahad fight. It's a mess that was. Anyway, that's the cop who caught the guy.
Lynch.
Biggs, you two investigating the house fire on Kenmore Avenue as well?
Yep. Why?
I had a look around the place while I was out there.
Do you believe the fire?
I deal in facts, Phelps. Evidence of an explosion. No obvious sign of accelerants. Wiring looks intact. Come and take a look at this.
This the heater from the Sawyer fire, Al?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Looks like it was recently serviced.
Reginald Varley.
I have a theory, and it's a theory only. I don't have enough evidence to prove...
Al, if you say it's so, we're listening.
Okay, Phelps. You're a bright penny. You have a gas supply. You have a Bunsen burner as a pilot light. You have a regulator valve, and the balloon represents the gas expanding in the room. Now, the gas has to make contact with the mosquito coil to form an explosion. Let's see if you can work out the chain of events.
Puzzle time.
The gas bubble needs to be next to the coil if it's gonna ignite.
Good, your regulator's in position.
No, that stays where it is. No, no, no. Don't. No. Why? Why, Phelps? Why are you doing this to me?
Okay, I'll light your pilot, turn the gas.
You pull the lever on the left to turn on the gas.
So that's how it's being done.
Maybe. There could be a fault with these valves. I've adjusted this one for our experiment, but you need to take it to InstaHeat and see what they say. Their headquarters is on North Harvard Boulevard, number 262.
Thanks, Albert.
You're welcome, Biggs. See you at the next show.
Keep talking. Someday you'll say something intelligent.
So,
can you drive to this one?
The fire marshal expects some faulty valve, faulty regulator valve, which is causing these fires. So now we're going to go to InstaHeat, which has been a brand that we've seen throughout the game, to talk about these valves.
It's not about getting, it's about
Show?
The next fire. We should go to the factory and see how many of these things are going bang in the night.
You know this Chapman character?
Guy's a freak. Loves fires. He's the kind of guy that we'd like for a lot of things, but we don't really have any credible evidence to pursue him with.
LAPD detectives, ma'am. We need to speak to someone in charge.
I see. Well, duty manager for today is Mr. Rasick. You should find him in his office.
Speak to Mr. Rasick, then.
He's dull as dishwater, but I'm not with him.
New and improved model. They'll be selling these like hotcakes.
You are a modest little person.
My sister's always
much
been
to be
lucky
modest
when it came to her weight.
That's him. That's the cop. Tried to poke me in the nose.
Tried to poke me in the nose.
You're a couple of shingles
The fuck does that mean?
Detective Phelps and Biggs, Arson. We're investigating a couple of house fires. What can you tell us about this?
Pressure regulator from a Model 70 here. Let me take a look. We have a problem. This has been tampered with.
What?
You see this diaphragm? It forms a seal across the saddle here. Gas flows across from here to here. The diaphragm regulates flow. It's been reversed. It's a subtle change, but it means the gas never closes off properly.
So you're telling me that this is not a manufacturing fault or service repair?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design.
I think you're lying, Razik. Either these heaters are flawed in inception, or they were badly put together. Which is it?
If you want to pursue that line of questioning, we could have our day in court. I'll put my engineering credentials up against yours.
It's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. You understand that? You're telling me that you've never had any problems with this heater?
Look, we've changed the design since the Model 70.
These things are still being installed?
It's the demand. None of us could keep up with the amount of housing going up. At the budget end, we're still using some of the old stock. We are installing 100 heaters a week. They're not all faulty.
They're not all safe either.
So yeah, that's a statement we just got, is how easy it is to sabotage these regulators. We now know it's easy.
Are these diaphragms prone to failure?
They tend to go after a while. The rubber lasts quite a few years and then it perishes.
So the guys' names that I've been seeing doing the repairs on the heaters, they're fully licensed and accredited.
Sure, of course they are.
I doubt that very much.
I think you're lying, Razik. I think some of your men aren't fully licensed. You're desperate to cover your sales.
And how are you going to prove that, Detective? Name me one of my guys who would have overlooked a fault like this.
Looks like I was mistaken. You employ accredited mechanics to do this.
We call them installers. Technically, they're gas fitters.
Installers, then?
They know what they're doing, Detective, if that's what you're trying to imply.
I want you to get me a copy of the list of your installers.
Okay, I'll get it for you. There. Around a dozen of them. Housing business is going crazy at the moment.
This is a long shot. We are not going to rouse that whole list.
You don't have to.
I want to run it by R&I. Cross-reference for arsonists. See if any of these guys have any previous. Sir, I need to use your phone.
Go right ahead.
Varley and Ryan were the ones who serviced the last two, the ones that you were referring to.
What the hell?
So we're probably gonna go after them.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
How can I help,
Colt
Detective?
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need to know if any of the following names have a previous criminal history.
Okay, Detective. Run the names.
Acevedo Ernesto, Clemens Walter, Elgrim John, Gable Leroy, Kelligrew Peter, Kuttner Robert, Limehouse Albert, Manning Franklin, Neves Raymond, O'Brien Thomas, Ryan Matthew, Spurgeon William.
There is no way in hell that she got all those names in the first try.
Clemens Walter. Previous conviction for arson and malicious damage. Burned down a house.
Agreed, Steve.
1942. 4-year jail term.
Thanks.
Ryan Matthew. Charged for contempt of court. Attempted murder. Plea bargain down to assault charge.
Anyone else?
There is a Reginald Varley wanted for murder by Detroit Police Department.
Thanks. You've been a big help, young lady.
Young lady? She sounds like an 80-year-old lady.
Employment roster is quite the rogues gallery, Mr. Rasick. Desperate times indeed.
Done.
Are we gonna keep talking, or are we done?
Do you have an address for Clemens?
He's working on an apartment building on Catalina and 3rd.
What about Ryan?
Currently working at a housing development on Normandy and 1st Street.
Varley. Where's he?
Beverly and Mariposa, currently working on a new housing development. Hey, Varley's a good guy. You can't harass all my people.
These guys have lockers.
Yes, they do, but my men have a right to some privacy. Don't you need a warrant or something?
Show him and keep quiet.
Hey, there's such a thing as soap, you know?
Here. Happy now?
Stick around, Mr. Rasick.
1947, not 1927. Of course a girl can ask a fella out.
Some light reading on the merciless capitalist machine. Ryan wants the world to be a better place, don't we all?
An anarchist's manifesto.
This doesn't pertain to the case.
Which will be which will be evidence later in all likelihood. Mosquito coil.
My company went through thousands of these in the war. Still got eaten alive. Varley has a problem with bugs.
Which we've already established can be used to commit arson.
You know that a mosquito coil takes an hour to burn down, Rasick?
No, I didn't know that.
It's the favorite choice of ignition by arsonists. Gives them time to get away.
You're crazy. He probably lives near the canals in Venice.
Another one of those pamphlets.
Clemens is a fellow traveler.
I suggest you actually read up on anarchy. It's a very interesting philosophy.
I got work waiting.
Not one that I ascribe to, but a very fascinating one that I could understand.
Clemens, Ryan, Varley. Where to, Phelps?
But of course, the important thing here is that in capitalist America, that means that these men are social deviants, which we should punish to the great severity of the law.
I think he's a bit of a gangster, but he treats me nice.
Alright, so
You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly?
we've got 3 work sites and 3 suspects. Let's go through the list. We might go over time, but I'm okay if we do, because this case is almost over.
Biggs, LAPD. We want some answers, and we want them quick.
Okay, okay. What's this all about? Just tell me what you want.
Look at that smug ass face on the portrait.
You know Reginald Varley?
No? Can't say I do.
You have a real viper's nest that insta-heat, don't you? Arsonists, murderers, communists.
What's that got to do with me? You can't prove I'm behind all that.
You have a communist manifesto. You have an anarchist manifesto.
Look, I've been cooperative. How about letting me get back to work?
Do you know Matthew Ryan?
No. Don't know the name.
Okay, this...
You and Ryan are fifth columnists.
And how do you figure that, wise guy? What proof do you have? Been following me to meetings?
Okay, this is where I actually use the pamphlet. Okay.
We found a pamphlet in your locker, Clemens. We can add your name to the register. HUAC might want to interview you.
That shit was from Ryan. He's always pushing that shit on people. Drives me nuts. He's got it in for the company.
You were licensed and worked for InstaHeat?
I contract for them. So what?
You like fires, don't you, Clemens? You serviced the house on Kenmore Avenue. You manipulated the regulator valve.
I don't remember even working a job on Kenmore Avenue, much less sabotaging the place.
He's right.
What proof have you got?
He didn't work that. That was not him. So
Looks like I made a mistake.
it's still pressing though.
InstaHeat hires arsonists, does it?
I've worked as a fitter all my life. Put everything I had into that house. And my fucking mud shark of a wife gets awarded it in the settlement. She's blowing spics 2 at a time while I'm at work. And she gets the house. Yeah, I burnt it all right. Set fire to that fucker and watched it burn to the ground. I did my time and I'd do it again.
Sorry about the rouse, Clemens. You did the right thing.
I love his sarcasm.
You're off the hook for the moment.
Can I get back to work now?
Let's get out of here, Phelps. He ain't our guy.
Yeah, he's an asshole, but not an arsonist. But I do love
Go over the case notes.
I do love
Where are
Herschel's
we headed?
wit. It's very dry in a way that I can get behind as someone who also has a fairly dry wit in real life.
Farley's on the run. He might be packing heat. If he's wanted for murder, I say we take the doubt out of the equation and let him have it.
You nervous?
It's been a while.
You were in combat.
In 1917. You know, I never fired my weapon in the line of duty.
That's nothing to be ashamed of. I hope your piece is still serviceable, Herschel.
I may be old and out of practice, but I'm still a Marine, Phelps.
It would be better for our case if we could bring him in, Herschel.
I like that he's a little
LAPD,
vulnerable.
Varley. Stop or I'll shoot.
Why? Why, Varley?
Come on, Varley. You can't keep running forever.
Oh, he just dies. I thought I would be able to shoot him in the legs or something.
Come on, Varley. You can't keep running forever. Stop or I will shoot.
Yeah, you can actually get a warning shot off the few.
I'm gonna take a wild guess that you're the same Reginald Varley the Detroit police have an outstanding warrant on. How am I doing so far?
I need a lawyer before I talk to any of you. Reginald Varley, you're under arrest for committing a series of arsons. You're also under arrest for murder. Detroit PD will be putting in a request for your extradition. Until then, you're a guest of the scene.
Arson? You can't hang that rap on me.
Be quiet. Be thankful we don't shoot you.
Are all the cops in this town crazy?
Take him away, officer. You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
We got one more person to round up, and then we will have our finale for this case.
Are you Matthew Ryan?
Who's asking?
Detective Phelps and Biggs, Arson Squad.
Arson?
You heard the man.
Let's just put this stuff in the car and I'll be right with you.
Hold it, Ryan. I said...
Son of a bitch.
Those are GI's backyards he's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
He's a one-man wrecking ball.
Move in. I'll take out the van.
People love to walk in front of my fucking car, apparently.
in a company van and he's losing us, Cole. Some partner I got.
He's going to kill those men.
They'll get out of the way.
Only if they hear him coming.
Close in, Phelps. We need to take Ryan down before he hurts somebody.
Jesus Christ.
I can't hit a target that isn't there, Phelps.
There goes his door.
Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires.
There goes his other door.
Jesus, what is he doing?
Oh my God!
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah, you ain't walking out of that, buddy. Holy shit, did you see that?
Put your hands in the air! Why did you run, Ryan? I was scared.
You got a reason to be scared, Ryan?
Matthew Ryan, I'm arresting you on suspicion of committing a series of arsons.
Holy shit, he got run over by a fucking tram. God damn.
We have 3 suspects. As much as I'd like it to be Chapman, I think it's one of the other 2 guys.
You mean
Get
Clemens?
to the station and close this case.
You can drive.
So where do you want to go?
There is no Chapman, Herschel Biggs. Which someone should have caught.
Could I borrow some of that mascara?
I have 2 suspects.
Phelps, you got nothing. Biggs, Ryan's waiting for you in interview 1. Varley's in 2.
Hey, Hopkins, you practicing your asshole routine again? Come on, Phelps.
That's him, the dirty cop. I hope his wife takes him for all he's worth.
Save yourself some time and get this thing off your chest.
If that's your opening gambit, you better try again.
So you want to change the world, Ryan?
Yes, I do. So does every reasonable person.
And you're doing your part?
Yes, I am.
Does that include sabotaging water heaters to destroy a company?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is industrial sabotage, Ryan. It's all part of your campaign.
You're delusional, detective. What campaign?
Your locker is full of pamphlets. Clemens told us how you were always foisting them on people.
Sure. I spread the pamphlets. A guy has to do something. Insta-heat heaters break down every day. They're still peddling the same lousy design that they lifted from Hephaestus.
Insta-heat bought out Hephaestus?
Them, Vulcan, Pyro, and a bunch of other companies.
And you still work for them?
A guy has to work.
And the directors of the company, how do you feel about them these days?
You work it out.
You know how to reverse a diaphragm in the regulator valve of a Model 70 heater?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
If you know enough to do your job, you know enough to do that repair. You're lying, Ryan.
And how do you think you can prove that?
Your manager says otherwise.
Your boss at InstaHeat said that you've all been trained to do it. It's a common repair. Are you calling him a liar?
Okay, so I know how it's done. But what would be the point? You just end up with a gas leak and then a small fire when you turn the pilot back on.
And if you didn't reset the pilot and the gas spread, what was the cause of the fire in your own home, Ryan?
I won't tell you.
What can you tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Nothing.
Tell me the truth, Ryan. It's the only chance you've got. You're getting some kind of kickback from the fund.
So I'm an agitator for change, but I take kickbacks. How does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
You don't ask, you never find out. I think Suburban is a front for your anarchist buddies. They're arranging for people to be out of town while you burn their houses down.
Suburban? What's that got to do with me? That's Farley's bilk. He's the one with the cozy agreement with those fascists.
That's an interesting thing you've just said.
You have a history of violence.
I have no such thing.
You're lying, Ryan.
And how exactly are you going to prove that?
I have a criminal record.
You were charged with attempted murder, Ryan.
It was a court case. No criminal liability was the verdict. They said that they couldn't have known that the faulty heater installation would cause a fire. All I know is I lost my whole family. And the company that was responsible got away with it. What would you do?
Which company?
Hephaestus Water Heater Company.
I'm gonna leave interrogation. I have.
That's it for the moment, Ryan.
So I can go?
Sure. As soon as your red friends storm the building and carry out, you'll keep your seat until we decide how long to lock you up for, knucklehead.
We got another person to talk to before we end this case.
Mouthpiece sort of stripped off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out.
I think Ryan is
Now
our
the DA
man.
wants my head.
But procedure says we eliminate all of the suspects. Let's speak to Varley.
I need a drink. I got the goddamn thing again.
We have Matthew Ryan in custody, Varley. I think all we need to do is ask him about this, and he'll rat you out.
Fuck Ryan, that pinko bastard.
That's the direct way of.
Have you ever worked on a place on Rosewood Avenue? Family by the name of Sawyer?
Maybe. I'm from out of town. I go where they send me. I don't do a lot of repairs, though. I'm flat out on new installations.
It's a lie.
Why are you lying to me, Varley? If Suburban wants their new installations completed, why are you bothering with wrecks like the Sawyer house?
So I'm lying just because I can't remember if I was there or not? How can you prove that I was?
You have your name on the fucking Your name's on the fucking heater, dude.
Your name is on the inside door of their water heater.
Okay. You got me there. Suburban, yeah, they wanted that guy out. Sawyer kept complaining about not being able to get his heater service, so they threw in a free service as a sweetener. I think he played him, though, because he still wouldn't sell.
What would reversing the diaphragm of an Insta-Heat Model 70 do?
Yeah, I made that mistake before. You get a big bang when you turn the pilot back on.
So you didn't deliberately sabotage the water heater at the Sawyer house?
No, I did not. You out of your mind?
But it was sabotaged.
I don't believe you, Varley. I think Suburban wants homeowners who don't want to sell out of the way.
I think you're out of your mind. Where is the evidence that I have done anything to contribute to this fire? Huh? You're saying I'm some kind of psycho for hire? It's not true.
So this is.
We're done for now.
So what happens?
You're either going back to Detroit to face a murder rap, or you're staying here to answer for these arsons.
So at this point, there is no more questioning. This is a case where
Bum took a swipe at me. Put him down with my sap.
like in homicide, neither one of these guys is actually guilty, but you do have to pin it on one of them.
I'm going to memorize.
And I am going to pin it on to get a higher. And the way it works, of course, is since Ryan is the social deviant, the anarchist, I get a high rating by pinging him instead of the other guy. So, since Cole is lawful stupid.
Matthew Ryan, I'm charging you with committing a series of arsons and for the murders of Hank Sawyer, Edwina Sawyer, Henry Sawyer, and Jessica Sawyer.
You're putting an innocent man away here. You hear me? I didn't set any fires. I didn't kill that family.
But you're an anarchist, so I get a high rating for charging you.
What you did to your wife and kids was un-American.
My wife threw me out.
Did I ask for your opinion? You're here to listen to mine. What I was going to say, before I was interrupted, was you did a good job on the Stephen Sawyer case. We don't often get results in arson, so well done.
What about me? Do I get a little stamp on my hand or a lollipop or something?
What you get is another case. A bad one, unfortunately.
And so that is the story of how Cole Phelps became an arson cop. And once that save is finished, we are going to quit.